Hey everyone, it's Bootman here, and I have a little something to admit. I was wrong. I know what you're thinking, but Chris, you're never wrong about anything. Well, I was. In my last video about the Thing, I said he might be the worst Vanguard in all of Marvel Rivals, but after a lot of hours of playing him and talking to a bunch of other players, some of them like really high level, and watching some replays and some streams, I'm here to tell you that I think the Thing is actually really, really good. And I know, you're like, but Chris, you just talked about how the Thing was trash in your last video. And yeah, I did. But something I mentioned in my video about Rocket Raccoon is that we have to update our beliefs based on new data. That is the key to evolving as a human being. When you get new information, you change your opinions. So in this video, I wanna explain what made me change my mind, what I learned, and why the Thing might be one of the most underrated tanks in the game right now. So let's jump into it. So I wanna start with a few main reasons why I changed my mind. First off, I have almost 7 hours on the Thing. And let me tell you, definitely not as bad as I thought. He's been really strong. I've had some amazing games with the Thing, even getting some MVP. Maybe it's because I bought the new Thing outfit. I got my little trench coat outfit on. Maybe that's what it is, but no, I've been having some great games with him. And I'll explain what I think was holding me back prior to this. So here's the thing. Pun intended. The Thing isn't just like this straightforward tank. He requires some practice, positioning, and most importantly, which we'll dive into in a later section, is teamwork. And once you figure him out, he's an absolute monster. So the Thing isn't like super straightforward like the Hulk, right? I talked about the Hulk in my previous video on the Thing. Like the Hulk, he can get in and out of fights. He could just use his charged jump in and out of fights as much as he wants. He even has a shield. The Thing requires like a little bit more practice and positioning and everything like that. But the other two things that really sold me were, first off, Hogs. Those of you who don't know Hogs is from Team Nightmare. He's one of the best tanks in the world. Nightmare is one of the best teams in the world. They've won multiple Marvel Rivals tournament. They just got second in the last huge Marvel Rivals tournament. They just teased that they got signed to potentially a major organization. We haven't heard the exact team yet, but anyways, Hogs knows what the heck he's talking about. So on like the first or second day, I asked Hogs on Twitter, I'm like, yo, what do you think about the Thing so far? And he's like, I think it's pretty good. And then I jumped into Hogs' stream and he was playing as a Thing. And I said, do you plan on playing the Thing in upcoming tournaments? And he said, yeah. And that's something that really sells me on it. So not only is Hogs just very experienced and know what he's talking about, but in these tournaments, there are thousands and thousands of dollars on the line. I don't think somebody like Hogs would be playing the Thing if he didn't think that they would be getting some wins. I don't think his team would let him play the Thing if they didn't think it was gonna get him some wins. So that was one of the big selling points. The other one was my boy Kazuma. Oh my God, this kid, I don't know what this kid is on. He's a very good Marvel Rivals player, like very, very good. But he's been playing the Thing like pretty much exclusively on one of his accounts. And oh my Lord, he's solo queuing too, and he just keeps winning. Not only is Kazuma winning, but he keeps getting MVP. The last time I checked, this account was at 18 wins and 3 losses. That is an 85% win rate. And like I said, Kazuma is very good. He's a lot better than me, but I'm like, oh, so you can solo queue with the Thing and actually do really, really well. But also, not only was I watching Hog's stream, but I checked out some of Kazuma's replays, and I can't stress enough how valuable it is to watch people who are better than you. Watching these two guys play the Thing taught me a lot just about positioning and initiating, when to get back and all that. So please, if you wanna get better at this game, go start watching some streams and replays from people who are better than you. So let's touch on some of my initial concerns about the Thing. First, I said that the Thing doesn't have any sustain or extra health. Well, I was wrong. I jumped to that a little bit quick. This is something my girlfriend always yells at me about. I skim things. But when I made that initial video, I hadn't thoroughly looked at all of his abilities and what they said. That is my bad. I apologize. Because it turns out he does have a couple abilities that do give him some bonus health. Now, I will say, I still don't think they're as good as some of the other tanks, but there is something to be said about the fact that he can get some bonus health for some additional survivability. So his right click, the Stone Haymaker, when you use this ability, you get 50 bonus health whenever you charge up that ability. The second one is his shift, the Yancey Street Charge. This gives you a whopping 200 bonus health. 200 bonus health, taking the thing from 700 to 900 health. So one of the cool things about the right click is that you can spam this thing. And as you're spamming your right click, you're getting these little tiny bursts of 50 bonus health. Now, that's not a huge amount, but it adds up, especially in these longer fights. You can just keep on right clicking and it might give you enough survivability for one of your healers to come up, pop you some heals, and you just stay fully engaged in that fight. And the right click, you know, it's a lot better than I thought. Now that I have some hours into it, once you learn the positioning of it, like, dude, the AoE on this thing is massive. It is huge. So I've taken out plenty of flyers who were flying a little bit too low. You charge that thing up, and even with a jump, you might be able to hit yourself a Storm, a Human Torch, an Iron Man, you know? But also, when you start figuring out his positioning and playing by corners, taking advantage of choke points, you can charge up that punch from around the corner, pop out, and just nail people. And you're just slowly chipping down their health, and it's just very, very, very valuable. So the biggest lesson I've learned from playing the thing is that you need a decent team. Like, you don't need an amazing team, you just need half-decent people playing with you. Like, I would not recommend playing the thing as a solo tank. That's probably the number one thing you've been hearing is do not play the thing as a solo tank, you need some support. I think the thing can solo tank just fine if you have decent healers. Listen, everybody, I am a strategist main. I'm a healer, so I'm on your side. I'm not one of those guys who just complains about strategists, but I will say this, if you have a solo tank on your team, only one tank, for the love of God, heal them. You should be focusing so much attention on this solo tank. They're in there trying their best to make space, soak up damage so your DPS can do their job. Please focus this person. But when you don't have good healers on your team, the thing is very, very hard to play. Now, if you do have a secondary tank on your team, even better. It gives somebody that you can jump to very easily with your E ability. But that brings me to my next point about having a half-decent team. When you have a semi-coherent team playing with you, you'll always have people within your line of sight to jump back to. Like, I've been getting so frustrated just trying to practice the thing and jump into quick matches. I'll be playing on teams where I'm the solo tank, we have one healer and 4 DPSs, you know? But like, when I was playing with my buddies, just constantly having people who knew how to play the game and were regularly in my line of sight, I can go in there and just do so much damage. I could charge in, I could beat people up, and then I would always have somebody to leap back to. So try to have a half-decent team. You're gonna have a bad time if you're solo queuing, so hopefully you have some buddies. I'm gonna keep just driving myself insane, practicing the thing, solo queuing when my friends aren't on, but it is a nightmare, and I'm not the good nightmare like Hogs' team. So one of the last things I wanna talk about real quick is the thing's stats. So this is rivalstracker.com. This is a site I've been using to check out stats. They have huge sample sizes, like tens of thousands of games across all ranks. Like, it's crazy, like hundreds of thousands of games. Rivalstracker.com, go check it out. So I've been trying to check the thing's win rates. And if we start out at Platinum, I think that's when, you know, things start getting a little bit serious. The thing just isn't that good. Like, see how far down he is? And it's the same when you go to Diamond, when you go to Grandmaster, when you go to Celestial. I keep hearing people saying like, oh, the thing is so much better at the higher ranks. He's so much better at the higher ranks. And so far the data isn't really showing it. Even when we get to one above all, I think, yeah, the thing is right here. So if we filter this just for Vanguards, so just for the tanks, and then we just jump back to Platinum, you get a better view of where the thing's at. But like I said, I think the thing might be, he might be a bit underrated, underutilized. People are still learning how to play him because, as you can see, just, you know, looking at Diamond, let's go to the pick rates real quick. So the thing's pick rate is at 31%. It's the second highest, but his win rate's very low. What this typically tells me is that a lot of people are picking him, but not playing him well. But even when we go down to Grandmaster, look, third highest win rate. Celestial, not win rate, pick rate. Celestial, third highest pick rate. Eternity, third highest pick rate. And then One Above All, third highest pick rate. But once you filter it for win rate, you could see how it changes and you see where the thing drops to. So yeah, we do have evidence that the thing can win. He can do the job of a tank. So what's going on? What's going on with these stats? I don't know for certain, but here's a few theories that I have so far. The first one is just the skill ceiling. The thing is just hard to master and a lot of players are still trying to figure him out. The next one is that he relies on a good team. A lot of people, I've mentioned this before, a lot of people over glamorize solo queuing. And as I've mentioned, I think the thing needs a decent team, a little bit of a coordination for him to be good with. And then the next one is possibly underrated potential. As you know, the famous story is about Wolverine and everybody figured out he was good. I don't know if the thing is on Wolverine level where the thing's gonna be getting banned and everything, but maybe even more tank players need to start trying out the thing. Maybe some of the top players outside of like Hogs and some others aren't playing the thing as much as they could be. But these are just a few theories. Feel free to let me know down in the comments below what you think is going on with these stats. Because yeah, there is evidence that the thing is pretty decent. But yeah, so just final thoughts. Again, I was wrong. I was wrong about the thing. I think he's very good. One of my goals right now is to get him to Lord. I've been playing him a ton. I think I just got him to Captain. So it's gonna take some more hours, but I do enjoy playing the thing and he can be crazy. He's not for everyone, but in the right hands and with the right team, he's a force to be reckoned with. So if you're sleeping on the thing, I highly recommend giving him another shot, watching some replays, watch some top players, and remember, he's a team player, so try to play with people who are going to coordinate with you. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell. I'm really gonna get into like the content grind, so make sure you're subscribed. I got a bunch of cool video ideas. I got post notes all over my desk, and just all sorts of stuff, so make sure you're subscribed. But other than that, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.